On this episode of the Chris Konya Show, we talk to two guys who are streamlining the way we can help our essential workers. And here with me, the way we are all communicating at this point in time via Zoom is Dave and Doug, here to talk about their great project that they have going on. Doug, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
And Dave, what's up, man?
I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, Chris?
Thanks for spending a few minutes here. I'm doing just as good as the next guy. No complaints, you know what I mean? So thanks for, first of all, doing what you're about to tell us all about, because it's extraordinary, and I'm very excited to share it with my viewers and listeners. And again, thanks for taking a couple minutes out of your day from, probably reorganizing the cabinets or playing video games like I am to get the message out there. First, I want to start with Dave. How did this idea come about? First of all, what is this thing that you're envisioning, and then tell me how you got the idea to do it.
So Western New York Fighting COVID, or WNY Fighting COVID, is a project we started. We're officially a nonprofit in New York. We're trying to connect people who want to make things and help protect our medical frontline workers and essential businesses. We want to get them critical PPE that's needed, that's in short supply right now. So I'm a maker in the community in Rochester, and I'm connected with a lot of other makers, engineer by day, really big into 3D printing. I think you probably see a couple of them sitting in the background there. So I got to talking to a couple of friends, and we kept seeing these stories pop up all over the media about other people printing things. So we said, well, why can't we be doing that for the Rochester area? So we started looking into it, and found it was pretty hard to find information on other groups in this area doing it. There's one other that we're aware of, Face Shields Rock. They're about a month ahead of us in terms of getting things to people who need them. But we saw a need, and we saw a gap that we could still help fill. So we decided to move forward.
So, Doug, how different is this than, say, someone with a sewing machine, sewing cloth and elastic bands and stuff on, a little square of a little square piece of cloth to put over their face to go into a grocery store? Doug, if you can't answer that, Dave, you could jump right in. I'm not sure what the partnership is yet, but I'm excited to find out. But whoever can answer that question better, I'm curious to see what you guys aren't just a bunch of people sewing stuff together and getting them out to people, right?
Sure. So what we found is people are sewing things, they're getting them out to the community, but it's piece by piece. They don't really know how to get it out. They're posting on Facebook that they have a couple masks and they're giving them to friends. What we're looking for is to take everyone that's doing that. We'll take their products that they're making, and we'll sanitize them and then get them out to the people that need them in masses. So we're going to reach out, and we have companies reaching out to us that say we need 30 masks, we need 20 face shields. So we're going to have all those products on hand from people that make them and then give them to us. And we're going to get those out to the community and the masses.
So it's not like an a la carte order anymore. And shout out to those people who took it upon themselves to just bust out that old sewing machine, or either that or do it by hand or learn to sew or whatever. Shout out to those people who are trying to do that and doing it successfully. And now this is a more centralized way to get those masks to people who need it, correct?
Absolutely.
Now, aside from those people just contributing what they're already making, David, what are you guys offering to do to help besides just taking their inventory and distributing it? Are you taking this to the next level in any way?
Yeah, so you hear a lot of stories about 3 people sewing masks with their sewing machines or by hand. And there's some couple of big organizations in the area that already facilitate distribution of that. And those are kind of the people that we want to lean on for help. We're by no means a manufacturing business, and that's not what we want to do. So we're really looking to lean on not just those people sewing, but people into 3D printing. And 3D printing offers a great advantage in that there's no long lead time that other industrial manufacturing equipment or processes need, like injection molding or something like that. So we can turn on a dime to what the medical community's needs are and help them out in real time without waiting weeks to get this expensive tooling in.
Now, Doug, if I don't have a sewing machine, I don't even know the first thing about 3D printing, but I do have time. What's the first step? If I want to help get masks or any kind of equipment that you guys are trying to round up out to, firefighters, first responders, nurses, doctors, even grocery store workers, or people going to work at a regular office. What do I do? What do I have to do to make my time worthwhile for people who really need protection?
Sure. So if you need PPE like that, then you can go to our website, which is wnyfightingcovid.org. There's a link on there that you can send us. We have a request form. And if you're looking for PPE, then you fill out that request form and it goes into our database and we can get that for you. If you're a maker and you're making with a 3D printer or sewing machine and you want to donate that to us, then you can sign up on our website and we'll get your information and we'll contact you about what you're making, how many you can make, how many you already have, and then we'll get together and pick that stuff up, or you can drop it off to us, and we'll have out there the exact amount of PPE that we have, so we know who to allocate that to.
How many people, David, do you think have 3D printers in the Western New York or even Rochester area? Is this something that I'm behind on? Because you look into 3D printers and it seems like they're kind of like, buying a toilet or buying a car. You can get one for $2,000, or, for the example of the car, you can get a beater for $800. You can get a $180,000 car and everywhere in between. Like, do you think 3D printers, or am I naive to the fact that 3D printers are more common than they are?
Yeah, so I think you'd be surprised at how common they really are out there in this area. You have some great universities in the area, RIT, which I'm currently a PhD student there now, studying at a state-of-the-art manufacturing 3D printing facility that RIT has. So we have everything from $1 million machines down to a couple $100 machines. So I think you'd be surprised at how many people out there really have a $100 or $200 printer that they've just been tinkering with and playing with in their basement and getting to know over the last couple of years. It's really blown up a lot in the last 6 or 7 years or so.
I couldn't even tell you one person that I know that has one, but I'll take your word for it. You're studying all this stuff. I mean, that's pretty crazy and awesome. That's really great that all these tools are in our community already. We just need people to do the work to help. Doug, first of all, you've mentioned PPE a couple times. What does that stand for exactly, and what qualifies to be, labeled with that term or that acronym?
So PPE stands for personal protective equipment. Before the COVID crisis hit, it was really allocated to or used by healthcare professionals, first responders, and even PPE is used in construction, manufacturing industry that OSHA refers to as PPE. But what we're really talking about is face masks, shields, and now just the handmade masks that everyone is making is considered PPE. So all these stores, New York State is now requiring PPE when you go out, and that's going to be the face mask that you're wearing.
Now, Doug, is there something besides masks that people, like everybody's making? It's almost like, I don't know, getting into Nirvana in 2005 instead of the 90s. Everybody's already making masks. We have masks. I'm sure we need more, but is there like, for example, a humble brag real quick. 1 year for, I think it was like a kindness challenge or something I did for the radio when I worked on the Buzz here in Rochester. And I called the Open Door Mission and I'm like, what could I do? Do you guys need coats? Do you need food? They're like, we need men's socks. It was very specific. They're like, everybody always brings coats and we love it. We get them out to the right people. We get food out to the right people, whatever. But nobody thinks to bring like underwear or fresh socks for people in need. What's the fresh sock version of PPE right now? Is there anything besides masks that people can, because people are in their houses, they're trying to get creative, and maybe the person who made masks for 3 weeks is probably bored of it by now. What they still want to help and make the fresh sock version of PPE. Is there one yet?
So I don't think there is one. And it's only been about a week, maybe a little bit less. And then the governor said everyone needs something covering their face when they go out. So when you're out in public right now, you're seeing everything from an actual professional face mask, I would call it, that's like a surgical mask, to a neck gaiter that you might wear when it's cold outside or warm outside, to a bandana, to, I mean, it's running a gambit out there. So I don't think there's anything that's particularly going to be the fresh sock right now. Who knows how long this is going to go on and if that's going to change. But everything we're focusing on right now is what those essential employees need, which is the face mask, the face shield, the whatever's going to cover their face to stop this COVID virus from spreading.
Now, Chris, that being said, I do have something to add to there. There, like you mentioned earlier, there are some big groups in the area who are already sewing fabric masks. There's a unique concentration of deaf and hard of hearing people here in Rochester in the Western New York area. So one of the challenges that we're looking to face is getting information out there on how to make transparent face masks. So we had one of our members was out at Lowe's or Home Depot or something the other day, and they saw a couple employees with their masks down below their face, and she said, "What are you doing? That's not protecting anything." So, well, we can't communicate with our coworker who is hard of hearing or deaf. So we're looking to fill that need. We'll be having information out there on our website about how to make exactly those masks here in the next couple of days.
Now, speaking of that, now I'm so excited about this because it's a very exciting thing. It's help, it kills time. I'm trying to think of every angle here because it can help kill time. You can learn a new skill. You can get very creative, and it's helping people. It's like the total package of something to take up all the time in the world, which a lot of people have right now. What would be if I got my stimulus check, my bills are paid, my family's taken care of, and I got that $1,200, maybe more if I'm married or have kids or whatever. Is there a 3D printer starter kit that you can recommend that one, the average person can learn how to use, and two, they could create this PPE that'll actually be accepted by you guys that can actually help people? What's that process like? Because a lot of people can figure out how to sew, right? They go on YouTube and stuff like that. But if I know nothing about 3D printing, is there something you recommend or a site or some kind of resource to look into for 3D printing 101?
Yeah, so I think 3D printing is a fantastic hobby to get into, even outside of the current crisis. If somebody's never touched a 3D printer before, I would say probably right now, really appreciate the ambition and want to help. And if you want to get into it for the hobby, that's fantastic. And there's some really good printers out there, specifically the Ender 3, the Ender 5. They're $200 to $300 machines that pretty much anyone can learn how to do. Unfortunately, it's not yet a technology that's a point and click. It takes a little more than that, and a lot of people will struggle with it, and it takes some time. It's not. There's definitely a learning curve to it. So I would say if you have a few extra $100 or something like that laying around, you want to help. The biggest way that you could help is either donate to, if you feel so inclined, donate to WNY Fighting COVID. The United Way is another big one here in Rochester, or even your local food bank. There's a lot of families that are really struggling right now who don't have their needs met. And
now, Doug, say we do donate. Where's the money in all this? Because it costs money. It takes money to operate. Money helps everything. Money is the seed that plants the tree that could really help a lot of people. So let's talk the money part, because people are wary about doing things, at a charity and this and that, and they don't know. People are skeptical sometimes of what phone calls to answer, where their money goes, how much of it goes to this part, and how much goes to this part. What's this whole process look like financially for the people donating and the people receiving and you guys in between?
So right now we're incorporated as a nonprofit within New York State. We have the paperwork in for the 501c3 for the tax exempt status through the federal government. Once that all finishes, which is a little bit slow right now because of the shutdowns, that is going to allow us to accept donations, either through GoFundMe or the other sites that we're going to use. That's going to support us in getting equipment that is needed to sanitize these items that we have. So we have a couple members that is specifically going to take that on, and we're setting up a little bit of a warehouse, we'll call it, that will be used to sanitize these masks, face shields, whatever we get. Then they'll be packaged, and we'll give them back out to the community. We don't want to take stuff that just came from somebody's home and then hand it right back out. We want to make sure it's thoroughly clean and safe for these people to use.
I think, Doug, we're losing you, but basically you said you're getting ready to accept monetary donations, and once you do, it's to help sanitize, it's to help package, it's basically operating costs, and it takes a lot to go in and out of different facilities, whether it's somebody's house or whatever. So that money would be going there. So it's really all for the people who need it the most, who need that PPE for the most. David, when can we start contributing? If I have 12 masks in my kitchen because I was bored because I watched The Office for the 11th time in a row, what do I do? How do I get it to you guys? What's the whole process like?
Yeah, so we're having our first donation drive coming up next Saturday, May 2nd. So we're still finalizing the details for that, but we have the date. And it'll likely be that morning. We'll have some drop-off locations around the county, 2 or 3 of them at least. This being our first drive, we're going to see how it goes, and if we need to do it more frequently than that, if we have fantastic turnout, we'll have some either more regular drives where people can drop things off. It'll be sort of like a drive-through scenario, so you won't even have to get out of your car. You'll bag your items up for donation, and you'll drop them in a bin right through your window. So we're still maintaining that social distancing, and we've got a constant awareness of how we want to protect ourselves. We want to protect the people that are donating, as well as those on the front lines that will be receiving these materials eventually. So May 2nd is our first drive, and we'll have more information to come on our website.
And what's that website again?
That's wnyfightingcovid.org.
It's a wonderful use of your time. I mean, dust off that sewing machine if you haven't already. Take care of your family if you're making the masks and stuff first. Of course, we want to take care of the ones closest to us. But if you're cranking those masks out and maybe your aunt doesn't have any kids because she decided to live her best life, maybe you got extra masks. Get them to these guys. Doug, anything else you want to add? Let's see if our connection is a little bit better yet. Did we lose Doug?
I think we lost Doug.
Doug's already working on that paperwork. He's getting that 501c3 pushed through. He's on Cuomo's doorstep right now, so he had to go. But David, Doug, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys doing this. Pretty quick turnaround, quick thinking, smart guys doing a lot with your intelligence and your ambition. I truly appreciate that, and I'm perfectly healthy. I can't imagine what the people who are hard of hearing. You're thinking about those people, the people who are still working, the first responders, and a lot of people say that they're grateful for groups of people and organizations who do things, people on the front lines, people who are still working, stuff like that. A lot of people say they're grateful for them, but not a lot of people do stuff for them. Do something about that gratefulness. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people put that into action, and it's very admirable that you guys are doing this. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. We're excited to be doing what we're doing. We're excited to help any we can, and we appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us today.
There goes David and Doug, and I thank them again for their time. And just to let you know, their website is up and running, so check that out if you want to get masks and PPE. Is that what it is? PPE.
That's correct. Yeah.
Check them out, and of course, we're also on a less grateful and less selfless note. We are selling merch on our website at the Rochester Podcast Network. It's rochesterpodcast.com/store. So check it out. If you got it, maybe you grab a sweatshirt, and use this to make masks out of. Maybe, and now everybody's happy. Everybody wins. So that's an idea. If not, then of course, make them a priority and take care of yourselves, your loved ones. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And be good to yourself.
It's been too long since I spoke clear and strong. Just something about this concrete gets me down.